Hello and welcome. Welcome to Heartbeats and Drum Beats. I'm Holly Clough. I'm going to be your teacher to give you some time to play with drums and have a little bit of fun playing some new rhythms. So we'll be playing patterns, we'll be expressing ourselves, and we're going to have some fun together. So let's get started. There are a few things I'd like for you to do while we're working together. They're little reminders. You might even think of them as rules or guidelines, but they're pretty easy. So the first one is that you're going to be using your eyes and your ears while we work together. You need to watch what I'm doing on the screen and listen to what we're going to be playing on our drums. So pay attention with your eyes and ears. That's your first rule. The second rule is about trying. You're going to be able to try some new things. Maybe you've never played a drum before, or maybe you've played other instruments, but you've never tried a drum. And when we play with our own homemade instruments, you're going to be trying all sorts of different sounds and instruments that you can make right from your own home. So give things a try. It's all an experiment. We're just going to have some fun with it. And put a little effort into it. I think you'll appreciate it when you're done. And the third rule is I'd like you to have fun. Have fun and enjoy yourself. So do what comes naturally for you. We're going to play around with sound and rhythm and patterns, and we'll have a good time as we do it. So I'm looking forward to spending time with you. And one of the first things we need to do is find drums. So you may not have a drum right there in your home or wherever you are right now. I happen to have one. Let me show you one of mine. This is a drum that comes from the Taos Pueblo in New Mexico. And it's made from cottonwood and a hide, and it has this beater stick. Here's how it sounds. And it's a handheld drum and has a really nice sound. Now, it would be great if we all had an official kind of drum, but you don't need one. There are probably plenty of things right around you that you could turn into a drum. So let me show you some ideas for that. You may already be familiar with one that children enjoy a lot, and it's something you'll find right in your kitchen. You may, and maybe you've done this yourself, you could use a pot or a pan like this, and you can hit it with a stick, a pencil. You could use a wooden spoon or some kind of spoon from your kitchen. You can even do this on the inside. Even a metal spoon would work. So look, here's a spoon, and I could just do. And if all else fails, you can always use your hand. So anything is possible for making a drum out of a pot or a pan. You could also use a box or a can or anything that you see. So here's a box. This, you might remember, this looks like an oatmeal box. You could just tap on the top. You could tap on the bottom of a cup. This is just a plastic cup. And if I put it down, I can just, and again, I could use a stick or a spoon or a pencil or my hand. Any of those things are fine. And with a cup like this, you can even use the cup. Listen to what happens when I tap the cup on my table. You can make a rhythm just by tapping the cup on your table. So those are some drumming ideas. There's even this. This is my favorite pillow. I could take a pillow and just put it in my lap and play like this. I could even do that with spoons if I wanted to. Spoons, my hands, if I have sticks, I could use those. That's fine too. So all of those things are possible. I've even just discovered some other drumsticks. So these can be fun if you happen to have, we call them noodles. Kids use these in the pool. They're just plastic and light. And if you want to use these as your sticks, you can hit almost anything because they're kind of soft. So I could do the table, I could do a chair, I could do my lap, and I won't even hurt myself. So if you have a noodle, you could do that. I took a long noodle and cut it into smaller pieces. So this noodle is thin. I even have ones that are a little bit bigger, like this. And again, they're just kind of fun, but they're soft, and they don't make a huge loud sound either, so that's kind of nice. Those are ideas for drums, and there really is no limit to your imagination. So anything that's available to you, you can use. What I wanted you to get the idea of is that you can use ordinary things, just things that are in your life. So sometimes when we're drumming, we use more than just drums. There are other instruments too. So one instrument is one like this. This is called a shekere. Shekere. So shekere is a gourd. It's an old dried up gourd. And these are actually seashells woven in a pattern around the outside so that when they touch the outside, they make this nice shaking or rattling sound. Now, I don't know how to make one of those at home, but I can make the sound with a few things in my house. So, this is also a musical instrument called a shaker egg because it's shaped like an egg. And you can hear it. Well, that shaking sound we can create with lots of different things. I'm going to bring back the oatmeal bucket. This container has some oatmeal in it, so listen. Now, as long as I have the cover on tightly, I'm good with this. I can do. So that's a nice thing. Another way to do it is to find a small container. A plastic container is better. We don't want the possibility of something dropping and breaking like glass or ceramic. So get a plastic container that has a lid. And for this one, you can see through it. I just put in some red lentil seeds today, beans. I had beans today. You could put popcorn kernels in there or rice or maybe some pinto beans, whatever you have, dried ones. And put the cover on and you have your own shaker. I made this one the same sort of thing, only for this one, inside I put a few stones. So I can make a shaker by just using something in my kitchen. I would recommend that if you make something like this, that you also get a nice big piece of tape and put it all the way around so that the things inside don't come flying out. That would just feel a little bit safer to me. Okay, so shakers. We took care of shakers. Now, there are some other instruments that drummers or percussionists use, and those can be these ones that make really big noises like cymbals. Oh, and they ring for a long time. Even that's an interesting noise. Great. Again, where are we going to find cymbals? If you don't have cymbals at your house, you might be surprised at how easy it could be to find some. I found some right in my cupboard, right next to the pots and pans. I took the lids from 2 pots and listen. If I tap them together, I can get a nice sound like a cymbal. So that's a possibility. These could even double as drums. I just thought of that. Watch. I could hold this and tap that. You see, all kinds of things will come to your mind once you start trying. All right, and there's one more kind of instrument I think you might be able to find around your home. It's called, the official name is a güiro. And this is a güiro. It's made from a gourd. It's another instrument made from a dried up gourd. And this one has been decorated. So it has this beautiful sun on it. And then it has an edge that's ridged. And then it has this beautiful stuff on this side too. Beautiful flowers, hummingbirds, I think. And there's a place for me to hold it. Those holes are where I put my hand. So if I hold it like this, and I take a stick, I'm going to rub it on those lines, because those lines are ridged and it makes a nice sound. So in a song, it could sound like this. I could make a pattern by the way I use the stick to make the sound. One of my favorite ways of playing a güiro is this toy. It's called the croaking frog. Do you see the frog? And its back has all these ridges on it. If you take the stick comes like this, so it's all held together. If you take the stick and you rub it along the frog's back, it will sound like a croaking frog. So it could sound like this. So I like the croaking frog just mostly because he's so cute. But how are we going to find one of those in our house? I found one. You're not going to believe it, but I took a can. This happens to be a can of pineapple. And I thought, if I just take the wrapper off, look what I'm discovering underneath. I have a can with ridges on it now. So listen, do you think I can make a similar sound? Listen. I'm just rubbing right there. So I have a güiro out of a can. Tomato cans often have ridges, pineapple cans, all sorts of things. So those are different ways to make different kinds of instruments. A drum, a shaker, a cymbal, and a güero. All those are possible. You only need one. And the best part of all is, if you can't find anything to use, you can't find a pillow, you can't find a box, you can't find something to hit with, you still have possibilities. And all of those possibilities are right on your body. So you can act like a drum yourself. You could clap. You could tap your hands on your lap. You could tap your feet, stomp your feet on the floor. You could snap your fingers. And you could even just use your voice by counting, saying 1, 2, 3, 4, or by making another drumming sound, like saying tap, 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 tap. All of those things are possible. So snapping, clapping, tapping, saying words. See, even if you don't have another instrument, you can use your own body as an instrument. So I think we'll have fun trying out a lot of different things. And maybe you'll try different things each time. That could be fun too. So I would like to stop right now and just talk for a minute about heartbeats and drum beats. I think people are really drawn to drums. They really like the sound of drums. They like the patterns. It reminds them of fun music. When people start drumming, people start dancing and singing. And I think it's because it's a natural part of who we are. I think that drum beats remind us of heartbeats. So listen to a heartbeat. I think we're drawn to drums because we have a natural drum beat inside of us. It's called a heartbeat. Yes, it reminds us that we have a little drum right inside of us. So recently I heard this very nice expression too. It comes from the Navajo people, and it says that the Great Spirit loved the drums so much, he gave everyone a heartbeat. So I think it will be a lot of fun for us to experiment with drums and to do some nice patterning and fun together and to have a good time playing. So your task now is to find a drum and see what you can do. Great. Until we meet again, take care, have fun, enjoy your new drum. Just play around with it. See what noises you can make. Can you make it loud? Can you make it soft? Can you play quickly or slowly? Can you get other people to join your band? Maybe it would be fun to have other people playing with you. So have fun, be careful, be wise, pick things that can't break, pick things that you know are okay to use. Don't use someone else's things, just use your own. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.